Monkeys and Me Knitting Podcast. I am Fernanda and I am so happy to have you back. If you are brand new, welcome. I have one other episode, so you are welcome to go check it out if you want to. So if you are returning, thank you so much. I don't think I can express how thankful I am for all the people who have watched it, the people who have commented. I was blown away by the kind messages that I've received, and already a few people who have been so kind, and they've reached out to me on Instagram, and it has just really made me happy. So grab yourself something to drink, and today I'm drinking caramel apple herbal tea. My brother got me this from Lidl, I don't know, maybe last year, and then we couldn't find any more. We don't have one in my city, so he just got it from me from somewhere else, but it smells just like a caramel apple. It is so good. So let's start. Like I said, I am so grateful for you guys watching, and it just makes me so happy. So let's go ahead and start. As you can see, I have a little bit of a different setup, not a whole lot, but I did get a better tripod, and we shall see how that goes. Let me know what you think, and let's go ahead and start. Let's start by Happy New Year, and thank you for your birthday wishes. It was a great birthday. It was very relaxed. It was fun. My husband always bakes me a cheesecake for my birthday, and it's a strawberry cheesecake, and it was delicious. It was perfect. He did a wonderful job, and I shared it with a few family members, so it was really good. So let me just show you a few of my birthday presents. I didn't bring them all, but let's start with I got a Swift. I am so excited. My mother-in-law and my mother and father-in-law and brother-in-law gave it to me. So thank you so much, Mom and Dad. It's one of those things that have been on my I need to buy list, but then I never do. So then my husband just has to stand with his hands while I make a ball. They also gave me a ball winder for Christmas, so it kind of went together since my birthday and Christmas are so close. So I'm very excited. I still haven't used it, but I will. I'll show you later that I do have some yarn that I have to cake up. And then let's move on to some other thing. And pretty much all my gifts are knitting related this year, some sort. So very happy. My parents got me these. So these have been eyeing them for a while. They are pricey, so I haven't bought them. But if you think about it, when you buy them individually, which I have, and I have almost every single one, it's way more money probably than just buying this. So, but the difference is that I have bought them over a long period of time instead of just a big chunk of money. So these are the Chiago interchangeable needles, and these are, I believe, the 5-inch needles, as you can see. And then it has from size 2 to 8 are the smaller size, and then from size US 9, I'm talking US 9s to US 15s. They each come with 3 cables. The cables for the bigger size needles and for the smaller size needles, and the 3 cables are 14 inches, 22 inches, and 30 inches on both. So it has been a game changer. It has been so much fun to use them. Of course, I love that I have the older ones too, so then I have double amount of needles, which just makes it even more possible to cast on even more projects at a time, if that is even possible. So if you have the money, or if you want to like save up for these, I highly recommend them. They, so far, been great. Obviously, it's only been a little bit, but I know other people who have used them, and I know that they do like them. So that was from my parents. Thank you, Mama, Papa. Now, my husband / I found it on Amazon, so I told my husband to get it for my birthday. It's called The Field Guide to Fleas. This is just a fun book. Well, for me. But seriously, like, you can look up, it has, I think, 100 sheep breeds, and you can just go on it like, okay, let's look for Merino or Jacob. Look, you can go to the Jacob page, and it will tell you a bit about the fleas, how it dyes, if you want to like effect on the dyes, the best uses for it, and then over here it tells you the origin, the microns, so then you can kind of decide how itchy it will be, natural colors. And so it is, I've been geeking out on this a lot, so I did get this from Amazon, and it's called The Field Guide to Fleas, and it's kind of compact. It's perfect to take with you. So if you want to, like, I don't know, if you go to a yarn store and you take it with you, then you can like learn more about the yarn that you're about to buy. So that is fun. Then my husband went to Barnes & Noble. He was walking through, and look what he found for me. Okay, I hope that I can't see. I have my phone on the other side because that's a better camera, so it's not in selfie mode. It is Nordic knits with Bergerberg or Bergerberg. I don't know how do you say his name, but oh my goodness, the patterns in this book. Let me find you some of my favorites. It has cardigans, it has pullovers, it has mittens, it has, ooh, he has some slippers, it has, oh, look at these socks. Let me show you these socks. That is absolutely gorgeous. Called rose socks, and he has several socks, and he also has mittens. Ooh, and the other thing that I do like, oh, and hats. I'm not a huge hat wearer. Most of the time I have my hair up. Today is half off, but most of the time it's just up in a bun, and so to wear a hat is kind of hard, because with a hat then I have to put down my bun, and then it's just too much. But I'm not a huge hat wearer, but I do make hats for my family. So, and then let me show you this, which I thought it was so cool. Look at these. Those are ties. I think I'm gonna have to make one for my husband to go to church. That would be really fun. The other one that he found this for, I think he bought both from Barnes & Noble. He surprised me on my birthday. And it is Harry Potter knits. Let me tell you, these ones are amazing, and there are several patterns here that I do want to make. I think probably my first one that I would love to make, it is the Howard's cardigan, I think. Oh, let me see what it's called. Oh, Howard's house cardigans. You can see there. Cute gray color, very kind of inconspicuous. Like, you can wear it and still, not that I'm embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed to wear Harry Potter things, but you can see that if you change the colors right here, and that's really all the colors that it has in the sleeves and at the bottom of the cardigan. If you change them, then you get the different houses. So, oh, right here. Let me show you. So, depending on the house that you want to do, it's just the kind of 3 little lines that you want to make, and that's pretty much all the colors, yet it looks just like the cardigan from the movie. It has different pullovers, it has a few like, this is so cute. My daughter saw that, she really liked it. So yeah, I mean, oh, it has scarves, obviously. Oh, it does have the like the Molly Weasley's, this one, Mrs. Weasley's home knit Christmas sweater. So, which I absolutely love. Those Mrs. Weasley never made Ron or Harry one with an R and H, at least not in the first book. I've read him enough. He did for Percy, he put a P on it, but not for, okay, I'm going on a tangent between the movies and the books, but I do like the aesthetic in the movies, so it is definitely one that I probably want to make for my kids. Now this one was for Christmas and I forgot to show it to you last time, but look at this. I've seen it floating around. Different people have gotten it. I think there's one that has 250 exquisite patterns, but this one is 260. I want to say my parents, yeah, my parents gave me this. And maybe I'll do a flip through later and I'll insert it here, because it's gonna be so hard to capture the cables and the beauty. Oh, it's just, so here are some examples, and there are several ones that I love, and I actually have an idea of what to do with this. Not only just to look at beautiful stitches, but one day in the future I want to just make myself a shawl, but just a square, like not rectangular shawl, just a big rectangular shawl that you can kind of, almost like a small blanket that you can kind of wrap around yourself, and I want to use some of these stitches on it, and especially because I don't have to think so much about decreases and adding it into a sweater or anything like that. It's just gonna be straight, so that's probably why it sounds good to me. But I'm gonna do a little flip through later of some of my favorites. And last but not least, Racing Animals for Fiber. My husband bought me this one for my birthday. So as you can see, I love books, and this one, even though I don't have land, I'm not planning on having land anytime soon, I do want to have a little homestead. There's this little side thing that knowledge about me. I really want to have a little farm or a little homestead where I raise chickens and I want sheep. I don't know if I'm gonna get any alpacas, and I am allergic to bunnies. We learned the hard way when we got a bunny. So we had a bunny as a pet and I just couldn't breathe. And I do like goats. Goats are fun. So this one's about sheep, goats, alpacas, and rabbits. But I definitely want some sheep. That would be, and I don't want like tons. I'm talking about like 5 or 6, something. I mean, I'm saying, like, I know it's gonna be easy or not. So those were my gifts, and let's move on now to finished out objects. So let's start with the one I finished. I don't know if you recognize it from the first episode, but I finished my Hyldebaer. It's called Hyldebær Shawl, but I can't say it in Danish. Hyldebær Shawl. Don't know. I think I'm gonna do a close-up of this later, because this pattern, it's been a while since I've like knitted a pattern, and I've enjoyed almost every bit of it, even though this was long. And I'm gonna warn you right now, it takes a little bit of time. The edging, it's gonna take time for you to put the edge on, but I will do a close-up because the cables, the stitches of the edging, it is beautiful. So let me tell you, it is how it's constructed. So you start on the top and you're gonna go. You're gonna do increases in the middle, you're gonna do increases at the ends on the purl and on the knit side. Knit side has more increases than in the purl. And you're gonna be making bubbles on the way. And you're gonna make it for a long time. But it is a very predictable pattern. So even though you are making it for a very long time, it's one of those that you can sit and kind of knit and not think too much about it. You have to look a little bit because obviously you want to make sure that you're making bubbles in the right spots. But once you get the repeat, it's not a hard knit. Then you have the edging. And for this, you're going to start right here. You're going to do it separately. Oh yeah, by the way, this is done separately. And then you attach it. I do know that she has instructions and she does say you could possibly not cast off because you're supposed to cast off right here. You're going to cast off the whole shawl, put it aside, and you're going to start on the edge. And I know that she said that you technically don't have to, but I didn't read those instructions, so I don't know how exactly how she did it. So I don't know. So I'm just gonna explain to you. So then you do this part separately, and once you have it and it's almost like a little triangle, you are going to start attaching it on your left side. So the way that works, I hope you can see it. I have no idea what I'm showing. The way that it works is that every time you knit on this side, you're going to attach it to one of the little knit that you've like cast off, but like one of the things. She has a great, in the pattern, she has a clickable link to her explaining how to do it. So obviously you'll be able to, and then you go back and forth. So on the purl side, then you go and you have to stay in pattern, and then you come back in the right on the knit side, and you're gonna attach it one more time, and then back and forth. But it's long. I mean, you're gonna be doing that for a long time. And then when you get to the very end, let me see, where's my end? Right here. Then it has another chart for kind of like this triangle thing. She does teach you, I've made tassels before, but I did watch her video. It's really good. So, so then you just make 3 tassels. If you want tassels, you don't have to have tassels. It looks beautiful with or without it, but I wanted tassels. And yeah, I've been wearing this, and then I blocked it. And I've been wearing it for a few days because 1, it's warm, 2, it's beautiful. So let me see if I can show you how beautiful that is. So, sorry, I don't think I told you who it was by. It's the Hyldebar Hyldebar, I don't know, shawl. I'll put the name on the notes below, by Fiber Tales. And she does have a podcast, and it is so much fun. I think I might have mentioned her last time, and I found her, I don't know, a while back, and when the first time I saw her video, I think it popped out on my YouTube, and I was like, oh, I like her. So I didn't even finish her latest video, whatever it was at that time. I'm like, I can't finish watching. I have to go back to the beginning. So I went and watched all her videos, and now I'm all caught up. So, and that's the way I am though. Like if I'm watching a TV show, I have to be watching it from like episode 1. I don't like skipping chapters and books. I can never read the end before the beginning in books. I know some people like it. For me, that's just, I would die. I am like, no, there's no way I can read the end before. Actually, sometimes I don't even like reading the back, you know, like in the back cover of the book, it kind of gives you a little bit about the book to tell you. So I kind of have to rely on good reviews from other people and people that I trust, and that's how I get really good books, because I don't even like doing that. Sometimes I don't even like watching previews for movies for the same reason. I want it to be a completely new thing. So I just wanted to see her grow throughout the podcast. I wanted to see how she grew as a knitter and as a person and then as a designer. So I just love seeing that process. So I just have to start from the beginning. The same thing with I did with Melody Hoffman. She is on YouTube she's Mandarins, and then on Instagram she's B Mandarins. And her podcast is beautiful. I actually bought her latest pattern. It's on my I want to make, but she is so much fun. I went back and started way back when she lived in Latvia, and I have kind of been watching her as she moved back to France, and now she has a baby. Well, she's not a baby anymore. She's a little toddler. And I've loved seeing how the same design process and how she has grown as a knitter, and it really reminds you that when you start seeing somebody else's middle or end or whatever part in their journey there are, it is so easy to feel discouraged because you feel like, oh, I am not such a good knitter, or my patterns are not as good, or my knitting is not as good, my things are not looking as great, because you're seen as somebody who has been doing it maybe for a lot of years. But if you're comparing your beginning to somebody else's middle or end, you're always going to be in disadvantage. So I like seeing their beginnings, because even though, I'm not saying that they were bad knitters, I'm just saying it is interesting to see that none of us know everything, and that's okay. So even though, some people have been super kind, they've like complimented on like some of my knits, I still have so much to learn. And I'm willing to do it here in front of a camera with you, making mistakes. I'll show you things that are not perfect. I'll show you things that I wear, yet they're not perfect. And that's okay, because our lives don't have to be a movie or an Instagram post or, I don't know, perfection, because no one's perfect. And we should be happy in the simple things and the things that bring us joy, like knitting, whatever it is that we're knitting. And with time, we'll just get better at it. So if you want to come along with me on my journey of still learning, because sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, there's still so much to learn, especially because knitting is not my only hobby. I want to do so many things and learn so many things. I'm constantly hopping from thing to thing that I absolutely love, because there's so much to learn. Like, that is something I'm absolutely passionate about, learning. And that's kind of what I want to pass on to my children. As you know, I homeschool them. And if nothing else, the biggest thing that I want them to get from our time together is the joy of learning, because that will never end. Our education might end on the 12th grade, or it might go on to university, or it might go on to a PhD. My husband's doing a PhD right now. Your education may go on, or it might stop early on, but your learning, your personal education doesn't need to. And that can have so many different, it can look so different. Like, it can be learning about things you're passionate about. It can be making things that you absolutely love. Whatever it is, learning, using the talents God has given us, or finding new talents. It just brings and fills my heart with so much joy. So now that we went on a complete tangent, let's keep going. So this was one of my finished objects. It took a while. It was, like I said, it took time, but I want to make another one. So if that's the case, that means it's a pretty good pattern. Well, at least for me it is. I absolutely loved it, and I want to make another one. And then my mom saw it and she's like, I want one. So I think I might have to make her one. So let me show you the next pattern because it is, oh, I've made these before. So I mentioned last time that my sister-in-law and brother-in-law are expecting a baby, and it's a baby girl. So I made, this is the coming home, no, Ellen's coming home set from PetiteKnits. I've made several patterns from PetiteKnits. I love her patterns. So if you want to go check her out, she makes beautiful things. Oh, and look, a while back I had made my own tags. Well, I had them made. They're super simple tags and they say Little Monkey and Me. But when I decided to make this podcast, I decided to add the S at the end for monkeys, because when I first came up with my quote-unquote brand name, I was selling a few things here and there to people, and I wanted to just put a little tag of things that I've made or things that I made for my kids. And that was way back, actually, that was when I only had one. And my oldest son was a huge fan of Curious George, and he was my little monkey. So Little Monkey and Me, that's what it comes from. And then as the year has gone by, we've added 2 more monkeys to our little family, and so now they're my Little Monkeys and Me. That's what the name behind the podcast, if you were wondering. And yeah, so those are my little tags. I still have a few that state monkey, so I'll just use them all up until I decide, if I ever decide. I don't know. I don't sell so much anymore, not that I ever sold tons, but since I'm trying to knit more for myself and for the people around me, like my kids, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get tags again, but it does look really cute with a tag. So this is her pattern for so the set comes with the little sweater, and look at these pants. Oh, okay, this is so cute. You do put an elastic, and you can't see it because you do you fold over. So you're gonna do a pretty long rib, and then you in the middle you're gonna do like purl stitches, like 1, and then you fold it over, and it's like perfect. It looks really good. So then it looks really nice. And then you make a little case, like, so you start sewing it, you leave a little bit open, you put in the elastic, forget words in English and in Spanish, so there's no help for me. And then you just put 2 decorative buttons that match. These are wooden buttons. I bought them a while back. I don't know where. I know that I bought them on, I think on Etsy. But yeah, this is done top up down. You do some short rows in the back, so as you can see, it's a little bit taller in the back than in the front, because, well, let's be honest, that little bum, it's gonna be full with diaper, so you need a little bit more room in the back for it. And that's also why, you know, shorter legs, bigger top, because of the diaper. And then you have this one. You do this one back and forth, and it's a raglan. Just start at the top, you work your way down, you separate for sleeves, you do the bottom without any more increases, and then you pick up the sleeves, each sleeve separately, and you can knit them around, or you can do double pointed needles. I hate double pointed needles. I mean, I use them. DPNs have their place in my life, but if I can get magic loops, I will use magic loop every time. If I can figure it out a way, I will use that instead of DPNs. And then you just finish with, there's a few decreases. This is the 0 size, so it's the newborn size. And it's, I think it'll fit her just fine. Now, the one thing that I don't have yet done, it's the bonnet. It comes with a bonnet. So the whole set, the whole pattern is a little sweater, the pants, and a bonnet that I'm going to start working on. And hopefully I'll have it done for the next podcast. Speaking about the next podcast, I wanted to record now because let me tell you what's happening next week. I am so excited. So for Christmas we surprised our kids with a puppy. She's not home yet. We get to go pick her up to next Friday, and I cannot tell you how excited I am. And my oldest is 10 and he's been asking for a dog for probably 7 years now. At some point or another, ever since he was little, he's been asking for a dog, and we always keep saying, oh yes, we will, later we will. And then, you know, life happens. It's a lot of responsibility to have a dog. And then along the way I found out I'm allergic to a lot of dogs, and like pretty bad allergic. Like I would have to be taking medicine every single day because otherwise I just can't breathe very well. So, you know, it's really hard for me to find a dog that I can even be in the same room with, let alone let that live in my home. Plus I love animals and I love dogs, and I know that I'm gonna love this dog. So I mean, I love her so much already. So her name is Luna. We already picked out her name, and I think I'm gonna insert a picture of the latest picture that we got or when we went to see her. But we surprised the kids on Christmas. They had no idea. We made them open presents, each one. We had them all sitting down on the floor, each one with a present, and it was all like something for Luna, but it was kind of hard to figure it out because they were like toys. So when they opened them, they were looking at us like, is this for me? Like, I'm not sure. And so they were looking at me and I was like, no. So then they gave them another one with a picture of her. And here's the thing, my brother, who also lives in town, he's getting the same kind of dog. And that's actually how we found this breed. It's called a Basenji. So if you want to go check it out, they're gorgeous. And they have a lot of qualities. Like one, they're like really helpful for people with allergies. They don't have a dog smell. They don't bark. Just kind of interesting. I think their vocal cord, it's either shorter or longer. I can't remember. We've looked it up. But they're not capable of barking. It's just not something they do. They do howl though, which the kids think it's hilarious. So we showed them a picture, and they thought it was a picture of my brother's dog because they knew all along that my brother was getting a dog. And he was looking for a dog where, you know, when we went to visit, or my mom, because she's also allergic to some dogs, that we wouldn't have a problem. That's kind of how he found out of this breed. I had never heard of them before. So we did, so that's like the dog that we're getting, and we're so excited to give her a home and love, and to give the kids an opportunity to have a dog in their life, because I'm also extremely allergic to cats, even worse. So that wasn't even an option. So listen, enough of me and my allergies. Oh, and I forgot to tell you what kind of yarn I used. I went with Baby Bee Sweet Delight from Hobby Lobby. And even though, yes, this is acrylic, and I did say that I'm trying to stay a little more away from acrylics, but my sister-in-law is a first-time mom. I will not give her 100% wool with a newborn baby that she has to hand wash and hand dry. That would be a horrible gift. I mean, unless the person is used to hand washing their wools, which she's not, I have to go with something, and it's extremely soft, and I know it's something that the baby will be able to wear with no problem, and she will be able to put in the washing machine without much trouble. So I did put this on my Ravelry page. It's LittleMonkeysandMe on Ravelry. Also on Instagram, LittleMonkeysandMe. I'm gonna write it down here because I do know it has an underscore. So it's LittleMonkeys_me. And on Instagram, so come and check me out there. I post some of my projects there, and you can send me messages, DM me there, and it's probably a lot easier than, you know, than for me to see it anywhere else. So So this is a yarn. It's extremely soft, so I will have leftover from this because I just have the bonnet. So that was really, and those are my finished objects because I've been working a lot on cast-ons. So let's check them out. I think that's what comes next. So last time when we talked, I had shown you that I have gotten this yarn from Knitpicks to make my both sons some sweaters. And this is Wonderfluff from Knitpicks, and it's a bulky weight yarn. And this is the color Kale Heather. So it is a little bit heathered, and it is extremely soft and it's an interesting yarn to work with. I love the feel of it, but I don't know how much I like working with it. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't want to tell you not to buy it because I do like it. It's alpaca, baby alpaca, 70% baby alpaca, 23% nylon, and 7% merino. So it's very soft. And I think from what they say on their website, it's almost like the nylon is almost like a tube, and this was kind of like, and then the wool was kind of like blown into it, kind of thing. I don't know. You can watch it, like you can go to their website and they have a little explanation, like video on some of their yarns. And I do like watching those because then you get a little bit more information about them. But it is really soft and my son is really, really happy with it. So I am actually making him the extra small from like the normal adult size. I didn't swatch. Surprise. I didn't swatch. It is fitting though. I tried it on. It fits. It fits. It will work out. I might have to buy extra yarn. I don't know. We'll find out. So I already finished its bottom up. I separated for the sleeves, and I am making both sleeves 2 at a time. If I can, so then I have 2 balls, you know, 2 balls here. If I can, a lot of the times I do 2 sleeves at a time because I like that. I don't have to make any notes on like if I do extra decreases. I just do everything at the same time. So if it's a decrease, I do it on one sleeve and then next. So it takes a little bit longer to finish both sleeves, but then by the time you're done with both sleeves, and then you can go ahead and attach them to the body and you can keep going. So if I can, I do, and if not, it's not a big deal. I don't have a problem making 2 sleeves. It's just if I can, I will do it. I think it's a lot of fun to make 2 at a time. So that is the first work in progress, and now that I finished the shawl, I'm almost done with the bonnet for my niece. I think I'm gonna be able to finish. Well, the thing is I have a baby shower, so I need to finish those. Sorry, let me just have some tea. I am talking so much. And so I have a baby shower, then I want to have that done. And then I'll show you the other work in progress that I want to finish before I go back to working on this. So let me show you these. These are a test knit for Fox and Folk. Nora is the designer behind Fox and Folk, and she is such a lovely person. I have test knitted for her 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 times before this. This might be my 5th or my 6th time test knitting for her. And her patterns are easy to follow, are very well done. I have knitted several of her patterns. I own some of them just because I love them, so I have bought them. And I'm starting the second one. And these ones are on, you remember I told you that I like Chiago, and these are my old needles. I bought a whole set from Amazon when I first started to like seriously thinking of knitting again, like, you know, more than just a scarf, years and years ago. One of these days I have to tell you my story. It's just, this one's gonna be too long of a video if I do that. But look at this. I mean, the only reason why I don't care is because I'm literally only working on these 2 needles, and I have to use the cables just to pass them just every time I turn. But if you had to deal with this plus having a garment sitting on this, it is a pain. Not to mention the kind of rubber they use or plastic they use, things don't slide as easily, or some things don't. So, but I do not have the size that I needed it. The cuff is done on 2.25s, but this is a test knit, so, you know, don't quote me on anything, because this pattern's not out yet, but she did say we can talk about it and that we can show it on Instagram, so I do have a picture of it in my stories. So yeah, so far this is great. I will let you know when her pattern is out if you really like it. This is a size 3/4, so it's gonna be for my little guy. And I made it in the palette yarn from Knitpicks. It is a fingering weight yarn, and I believe this one is called Peapod. Do I have it written down somewhere? I think so. Yeah, I think it's so. Peapod from Knitpicks, and it's fingering weight. It's 100% Highland wool. So I think actually I'm gonna use this, and this was on my, it was in my stash already. I use these a lot when I make little toys that I knit, which I think that's gonna be my next podcast. I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to knit because we're gonna get a puppy, and I know that I'm gonna be all over that for a while. So but I do want to record a next podcast, you know, in a few weeks. Yet I don't know how many things I will have finished, but I do want to make a podcast about some of amazing patterns that I use for knitted toys and crochet toys. So that might be my next one, since I have already some made and I can talk about them without having to distract me from my puppy. So this is my project. So this is work in progress for sock number 2, and so far it's great, and I need to just get on with that. I want to finish that because this is a test knit before I go back to the sweater. And last but not least, let me show you the other work in progress. So last time I did show you this one. I have worked through, because I think last time when I showed you, I don't know how far it was, but either I had gone to the little middle ridge or I hadn't. But at this point, I separated for the sleeves. This is the Queenie cardigan from Fabel Knitwear, and it's done on also in palette from Knitpicks. But this color is, I believe, rose. Let me see. Tea rose. That's what it's called. Tea rose. And it's also 100% wool, Highland wool from Peru. And I love this color. My mom picked it out. This is for my mom, and I need to finish it. So I separated for the sleeves, and I started the sleeves. I mean, you guys are gonna laugh because I started the sleeves, but this is how much I have left to do because I just started them. So, Mom, I am gonna finish this for you. She's afraid that I put it aside for too long, but I did work on it for a lot. The thing is, this you have to knit back and forth, and it's really thin yarn and it's very long, so you're constantly, you know, but it's a very good mindless knit. It's very easy. So that is my, I'm sorry, the needles. So that is my last work in progress. And I forgot to tell you what the yarn that I used for, so sorry, forgot this yarn. It is on my progress on my notebooks projects on Ravelry. Look at that. I'm actually trying to use, I only recorded 3 projects so far. I'm horrible at using it, but I want to. Plus, when I was putting it in, I was thinking how good it was. And I'm like, oh, what haven't I done this before? So I still am using my little notebook, so I have to finish putting a picture up. This one I'm waiting to write notes, so I already have, but I have it set up. So this one is Araucania yarns, and this is the Huasco sock. And in the colorway, I don't know if it has a name, but the color is 1010. And I have it all set up on my Ravelry. It has that and how much I used. I don't have it on the top of my head, but it is on Ravelry. I want to say I used 2 skeins and a little bit more. But I did weigh it. So I put the grams in there and it'll tell you how many yards I used. And I did buy this one, Blowing Rock, North Carolina, in the little shop there that's called Unwound. It was really fun. I love Blowing Rock. It's beautiful, especially when you go in the fall. So those are my works in progress, I believe. So let me show you some of my acquisitions so I can let you know more things that are going to be cast on. And before we go to that, it is funny because I used to be a 1 project person, and now look at me. I've embraced the multiple projects. Though I'm still kind of getting used to it. For me it's very hard to put it down and say, okay, I'm gonna go work on something else, but yet it has been so freeing, because when I'm like, I'm kind of done with this, let me have a break from whatever pattern and I can go to the next one. It feels really freeing. Before, I used to be like, no, I have to finish. Not because anyone was putting this on me. It was me putting it on myself, because I'm kind of like 1 pattern at a time kind of person. But now I'm embracing the multiple patterns, and it has opened up, I don't know, like the freedom to just knit even more things. So the question is, will I finish them? Because I think that's why I was always scared of like doing multiple patterns, because I was thinking, what if I don't finish and I have a bunch of unfinished things? So far I'm making a lot of progress. So, and I have finished some things, so I think we can be good. So let me show you these 2 yarns that I got. So I went to Hobby Lobby to get the baby yarn, and I noticed, well, last time I noticed, but this time I really looked into it, that Yarn Bee, which is the brand for Hobby Lobby, I believe, has 100% superwash merino wool, and they are hand dyed. And so yeah, I thought it was super cool, and they're cute, and I'm gonna try them out. These ones don't have any nylon at all. They're superwash, but they are wool, 100% wool, no nylon, and I want to try to make some socks. So these are both fingering weight, or super fine, and they are, this one is called Blue Vapor, and this one is called Plush Blush. So this one is actually for my husband. He picked it out. My husband wears pink, purples, all the colors of the rainbow. He also loves buying socks. Like, he has outrageous, like for Christmas, he has all sorts of socks. Halloween, witches, I mean, crazy socks. He has Golden Girl socks. So if you like Golden Girl, we like Golden Girls. He has Seinfeld. I love Seinfeld. He has Marvel. He has, I mean, crazy socks. He does have a bunch of athletic, like black or white socks that are mostly for, like, you know, athletic things. But any other time of the year, like any other time of the day, he's gonna be wearing crazy socks. And he wanted me to make him some, so he picked pink because he loves pink. And these ones are for me. I thought this would look really cute. I don't know how it's gonna knit up. And most likely I'm gonna do just a vanilla sock for me and him. but maybe not. Maybe I'll find a cute sock pattern. So I get to use my Swift, yay, and my ball maker for this. And so yeah, so we'll see how it, you know, it doesn't have nylon, so we'll see how it works and how long they last. I'm not terribly at wearing out my socks, and neither does my husband, probably because he owns so many. And probably because I only wear socks like 3 months of the year, because if it's summer, I'm gonna be barefoot and I'm gonna be wearing sandals. There is no way you're putting shoes on me unless I'm hiking or things like that. So otherwise you're gonna find me in sandals. So I'm embracing those socks. I used to hate it, but now that I can make myself socks, and the more socks I make, I am embracing the socks. And I'm gonna make this one for me, and we shall see how they go. So hopefully by next time I either have socks done or at least started for my husband and me. And I really like this color, both colors really. So we'll see how they look. And the other one, I had told you last time that I'm gonna make my husband a Riddari, and I bought the yarn for it, and it came a few weeks ago, and I'm in love. I'm in love. All right, so let me get these at different colors. Okay, I think so, yes. Well, it's more than just 4 balls, but there's no need to show you all of them. So this is very rustic yarn. It's called Loppy. Yeah. So it's pure wool, and the main color of the Riddari, it's gonna be on this one. It doesn't have the name of the colors. I'm gonna try to find if I can find either the name of it, but this is Icelandic wool, and is a very rustic, and I don't know if you can see, but there's definitely you can see the yarn, but I'm excited to use it. I mean, I've heard wonderful things. I heard it's really, really, really warm, and so this is one of the contrasting, this one and this one, and this is gonna be the main color. My husband picked them out, so he sat next to me and he told me what colors he wanted, and kind of I showed him the pattern, and yeah. So let me, where did I hear? I mean, I know a lot of people know about this one, and I kind of heard about it, and it's been, you know, for years. It's been a very popular pattern, but the person that really got me into like, okay, I'm gonna make it, it's Emma from Woolly Mammoth Fiber Company. She has a podcast, another lovely podcast. She's Irish. Her accent, it's so beautiful. I love the way she talks. Plus I don't know, she is so easygoing and nice. Like I know her. I mean, I'm talking like I know her, but I feel like I know her. So, and the other person that I absolutely love, another podcast that I absolutely love, is Inga from Knitting Traditions. If you haven't seen her, she started her podcast a few months ago. She started in 2020. She is from Norway. She's a doctor, and she's beautiful, and she's so kind and so nice and easygoing. And I feel like, I mean, all the people that I've talked about today on the podcast, I feel like I could sit down with them and just chat. And that's kind of what I want this podcast to be for you, and that's definitely what their podcasts are for me. I just sit down with my knitting and I listen to their podcast, and maybe I want to tell you a different podcast. Lindsay from A Wooden Nest, and one of my viewers actually started, like that sounds weird, but one of you actually started a podcast, and her name is Mia, Knit All the Yarns, I want to say. If that's wrong, I'm gonna find the name of the podcast, and I'll put it down here so you can read it. But and she contacted me and she told me, and I watched her first episode a few days ago, and it was so fun. Like, she lives in Texas. Her name is Mia. She's Puerto Rican. I'm Chilean, and we both homeschool. I mean, she has older kids than me, but this knitting, I just love the community that we get. So, I've gotten messages from people in Scotland and Ireland and different places in the US, and people are so kind, and they just want to knit. We just want to knit and share what we're knitting, because we love knitting. We love yarn. We love creating things with our hands, and either warming up other people or warming ourselves up with them. So that's probably my podcast for today. I don't know when I'll be able to, how crazy it will be with a puppy. The last time I had a puppy, it was when I was like 11 years old, and I am pretty sure I did not do all the work. So, even though I won't be doing all the work, I will be doing a lot of the training. And I'm just so excited. I can't wait, and I'm so excited. So if you want to check out Basenji's, we did check in our shelters around here, but they didn't have any. And like I said, since I'm super allergic to other dogs, it gets very difficult to adopt a dog. So we're excited about our puppy, and excited, scared, all the feelings in between, because I already have 3 kids. But I know lots of people have kids and puppies, and I can do it. I know I can do it. So yeah, so that is probably it for today. I hope you have a wonderful week, and yeah, if you like this, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Drop a comment if you want to talk to me. Check me out on Instagram if you want to see some more of the things that I'm making. And if you don't want to wait in between podcasts, and there's 100% going to be some Luna footage in this podcast once in a while, because I just can't, I will not be able to contain the cuteness of a cute puppy. And there will definitely be some of my stories on Instagram. So go check me out on Instagram. You can also DM me if you want to talk to me there. And have a wonderful day. Bye.